All right, now you're ready to build the actual circuit part of your circuit board. Most importantly, you need to have your circuit all ready to go and make sure that your light works, okay? Your light and your battery have to work so that you can test each circuit. So make sure you have this built before you get started. All right, I'm going to put this down and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. So the next piece is you need to take aluminum foil. Now remember, aluminum foil is metal, right? So I'm just going to cut a really thin line of aluminum foil. It has to be all connected, and this is actually kind of the tricky part. I'm just going to cut a strip. It's maybe a centimeter wide. You can measure it if you want, but you don't really have to. You're going to end up cutting, for our circuit boards, we're going to end up cutting a bunch of these, okay? So this is actually going to act like my wire. So I'm going to leave it like this, and then you remember your circuit board design. Once you have your circuit board design completed, you want to take a hole punch and you want to punch out each hole. I'm just going to do the first three while you're watching. I'm going to do the first three. You see how I'm putting them where we are calling these the buttons. So actually, maybe I'll just do a bunch of them. So when you're done, if you would please pick up your hole punches, right? Like take your hole punches and pick them up so that I don't have to pick up a big mess. So I also want to do the other side. So I can't do that while I'm holding it up. I just am not that talented. You probably are, but while I'm holding it up, it's hard to do. So I'm just doing the other side. All right. So clearly you can see we have some questions, we have some answers. I've hole punched some of them. You're going to hole punch all of them. I just don't want to waste too much of your time. Then you're going to take a ruler and you're going to flip your board upside down and you're going to connect the dots. Let me see if I can actually show this to you. So I've turned this upside down. You can see like my marker bled through. Yours won't though. And what you need to do is you need to take a pencil and you need to connect the correct answer with the correct question, okay? And I am telling you to use a ruler for a reason, so use a ruler. So here's a square, and you need to draw them all on. You need to connect button to button, and we're gonna call those holes buttons, remember? And happy to happy, sad to sad, square to square. I'm not gonna do all of them because I know you don't wanna watch me do this entire thing, but you can see that I'm starting to connect all of these. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check to make sure that this button says sad, and this is the actual sad face. Sad button, sad face. Okay. I'm going to make sure that those are connected with the line. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing the pattern for my actual circuit board. Today you also have some tape. Oh, wait, here's my tape. Okay. So you have some tape. And you have your aluminum foil. This is super important. Shiny side, dull side, it really doesn't matter. But whatever you decide, it looks better if you're going to do like, I'm going to do my shiny side forward. So I'm going to make sure that my aluminum foil completely covers this first button. And actually, if I press it with my finger, you can kind of see, if you like zoom in, you can kind of see that there's an outline there. And I know it's going to go from here to here because it's going to follow that line that I drew. So, and I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. Now, aluminum foil is super easy to tear, so you have to be really, really gentle with this. And masking tape, you might want to cut it, you might not. What you want to do is make sure that you tape the first side on so that it's not going anywhere. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you tape, just use a smaller piece of tape, it doesn't have to be huge. And then you want to tape the other side on. Here's what you don't want to do. You want to make sure that your metal is completely covered because now you're using masking tape, which is going to seal this whole thing here. So I'm going to double check now that I have sad and sad. I'm going to turn this over. It's upside down for you, but I'm going to turn this over and you can see I have sad and I have sad and I can see the aluminum foil through those holes. Okay, you can see the aluminum foil through those holes. And now you can see that I've connected them with a conductor and I'm going to insulate it now with my masking tape. So you might be really good with masking tape. Some people are, some people are not. I'm going to suggest that you use 2 or 3 pieces. Now, if you use one long piece, you're like, I want the back to be super neat, and you want to just use one piece, You can, but don't pull too hard because you'll bend your circuit board. So I like to use a couple of pieces and make sure they overlap. And then, because see, look, you got to be super careful here. Make sure they overlap, and then make sure you cover every single little bit of aluminum foil. No aluminum foil can be showing. See where there's a little place there where maybe the tape might overlap? You have to be very careful. If any aluminum foil is showing, see this circuit's going to cross here. If there's any foil that touches another foil, more than one will light up. So now I'm going to check the front. And please bring to me your first circuit once you've done, and this is one circuit. Once you've done one of them, please bring it to me so I can check it. And then if you look, it is still aluminum foil and aluminum foil. And what I want to do at this point is I want to check it with my two ends, right? So here's my circuit. I'm going to check, right? And electricity is going to travel from here to here. So if it works, then my light will go on. Boop, it works. Yay, electricity. You're closing the circuit when you touch it to light your light bulb. Eventually, you'll do all of the circuits, and what you'll need to make sure that you do is you tape your light bulb at the top, and then you'll be able to touch one end here, another end here, and then you have your completed circuit board. So for the rest of this, you'll need to finish drawing your lines. And then when you're done with all of your lines, you want to put a piece of aluminum foil, cover it with masking tape. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut another piece of aluminum foil. And again, it only needs to be about 1 centimeter wide, not very wide. Here's my hand, right? So here's my next line. So I'm going to put another piece of tape, and I'm going to put it there. I can't get the tape. There we go. I'm just going to make sure I don't go to the very edge. In the end, when you're done with this, all of these, then you're going to take another piece of tag board. Let me double check to make sure this is right. You'll take another piece of tag board, and you will end up taping it to the back of this. So all of these are covered. Look, see how I got that super close to the edge? I want to make sure that no electricity can escape from there. So I want to make sure that I cover that really, really well, so that you can't, no electricity can touch other electricity. No metal touching other metal. We don't want it to conduct, right? So after I have all 10 of these done, you're actually going to take another piece of tag board, and this isn't a piece of tag board, but you're going to take another piece of tag board and you're going to cover this whole thing up, so all of your answers will be covered. You're going to flip it over, and you're going to take, so now I'm like, see, I'm getting it done here. You can see I've got this one done and this one done, and I can test and make sure that it only lights up for the one, right? So I'm going to take, and I can make sure that each one just lights up for the correct answer. So this says sad over here, and this says happy, and it doesn't light up. And this one says sad. Ooh, it doesn't light up for happy, but it lights up for sad, right? This one says happy, lights up for happy, and then, oh, yay, sad. Nope, and yes, happy. Test each one of them after you put on each wire. We'll call on those aluminum pieces of foil wires. So we have buttons and wires, and our masking tape is going to be our insulator. When you're completely done with all of your buttons and you're ready to put the back onto your circuit board, then you're going to want a really long piece of tape. And what you're going to do is you're going to seal that right up. I'm just going to put this right over the edge. Okay. And then I kind of pushed it down on the desk here, but I really just meant to seal it. So I didn't mean to tape it like that. So let me just turn it over. So then I'm just going to fold it like this, so that everything is nice and sealed up on the inside. I'm going to trim off my edges because this one is a little not perfect, and you know, perfect sometimes is something you have to have. And you do that for all 4 sides. So now I have it, so it will just like open. I don't want it to open though, right? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to tape that side too. And you can do this with more than one piece of tape if you want. So here's the reason why you didn't want to go all the way to the edge with your buttons, because you wanted to have this frame that goes around the edge. So I'm just going to fold this over. It's easier to do if I lay it flat. I'm just going to fold it over. And I'm going to trim off those little edges. Right? So I'm getting it sealed up. So I have this end sealed up, I have this end sealed up. I'm going to do this side, and I'm going to do the top, and then on the back is where I'm going to glue my circuit separately, okay? You'll want to make sure that your circuit can actually touch the top and the bottom when you're lighting it. So I probably want to stick my, my light bulb here and make my wire longer. I probably want to do it this way. Yeah, that's how I want to make my circuit, this way, so that it will touch the top and the bottom. So I am going to have to take this tape off and redo, and then my circuit will touch the top and the bottom. I'll glue this on the back, right, or I'll tape it on the back, and I'll be able to touch the top and the bottom, all the buttons with this wire and all the buttons with this wire. And then I'll be done with my circuit board. Put your name and your hour on the back. And ta-da! You have a circuit board that lights up with the right answers and the right questions, and the electricity will only travel from the right question to the right answer because you have made only one path for electricity to travel, and then you insulated it with the masking tape. Woohoo! All right, have fun building.